It's Lamech with Selah Sports TV back at you with another one. So today we're gonna bring on my man, the Italian Stallion Bradio. We're gonna talk about boxing. We had a big week of fights last week. Really mainly two big fights, right? But they kind of did readjust the landscape, right? So that's what we're gonna chop it up and talk about. There's a lot to talk about, right? In and outside of the ring, right? Inside and outside of the ring, right? So looking forward to that. Looks like Brad is coming in right now. There he
go.
There he is. What up, dog? How you doing, man?
What you mean how I'm doing?
How you feeling? You okay? You all right?
Man, that was a rough one. It took a couple days to get over that.
That was rough. And I was actually on Bud's side, but just looking at that shit, I'm like, man, that's rough. But let's talk about it, man. We had some big fights last week. Of course, we know about the Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence fight, and then we also had Naoya Inoue. I mean, neither one of these fights really played out the way we thought they would. Not as far as victor or who lost, but just the aesthetic of the fight was like crazy.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Bud fight, though? Just your overall sense of the fight. What's your takeaway?
It was the most dominating performance I've ever seen at a fight at that level.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, I can't think of another one in my lifetime that was supposed to be close and wasn't, right?
Right.
Refer back to the Pac-May real quick. I mean, I know people say Floyd schooled him, but like Pac walked out of there like, "What's up?" You know what I'm saying?
Who?
Like,
which one? Which fight was it? Floyd and who?
Pacquiao Mayweather.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could, like, even though some people say like, "Oh, one side of Mayweather," but like at the end of the fight, Pacquiao didn't have a scratch on his face. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. It's like, okay, you can say he won rounds, blah blah, whatever. But this was like, I knew pretty much by that knockdown in the second round, like it was kind of over. Like, don't get me wrong, I had like glimpses of hope, like, maybe he'll turn it around, maybe he'll catch him. But in fact, this goes right back to what we said in the last one. I said, when you get them fights, you just know this guy just ain't gonna. And I didn't think that would happen in this.
Right.
And I started having that feeling with the knockdown. I was like, okay, maybe it was a flash knockdown. Maybe he'll come back and land something. But like each round that went by, it was just like, nah. Like it became less and less chance he was going to catch him with some huge punch.
Right.
It's just like, that ain't happening. So yeah, it was a dominant performance.
I'm gonna tell you what that fight reminded me of. It was a Floyd fight, but it was the Corrales fight.
Okay.
Right, because the reason why, because Floyd was actually the underdog in that fight. Right. Mm-hmm. He wasn't. People expected Corrales was a killer. At that point, like people didn't know about Floyd. Right. But the way that fight, we know how that fight turned out, right? Rest in peace to Corrales, man, one of the greats. Yeah. But that's the fight. That's what it reminded me of. It's like he just one guy just looked like he didn't really belong there. But I guess one thing I could say in regards to that is Corrales went on from there and had some warrior fights, and was able to pull out some. So hopefully Errol Spence can do that too. We'll see. Another thing I thought about is leading up to the fight, we just kept hearing, and it was confusing to me. Like, we just kept hearing, like, he's the bigger, stronger guy. Bigger, like, as far as I'm concerned, that's not really a boxing tape. You know what I mean? Because we've seen Pacquiao. Pacquiao's not bigger and stronger than anybody, right? Yeah. Well, maybe he's stronger, but, like, everybody was bigger than him. Right. Floyd, you know what I mean? Like, what does that mean? Yeah. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It was very I didn't expect the fight to go that way, honestly. Like, I kind of agree with you in the second round when he got knocked down. I knew Errol Spence wasn't hurt yet. I knew, and I was saying it, like, if you watch the live stream, I said it, I'm like, yeah, he's not hurt yet. There's no way. And he wasn't. Like, he came out in that third round winging shots.
Yeah.
But that's the shit that was, that was what's going to get him caught.
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah, I didn't think he was necessarily hurt by that, but still, he ain't never been dropped before. So that just showed the sharpness. And there was still hope at that point, like as far as you're rooting for Spence, that, okay, something could happen, but it just started dwindling because it was like,
yeah.
And then the hand speed difference was so great by the second half of that fight. Like, it wasn't even close.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't like it was like Bud hand speed is 9, Errol's is 8. It was like Bud hand speed is 5. I mean, Bud hand speed is 10, Errol's like 5. Like and that's why I knew he couldn't come back because like Bud didn't even have to worry about his punches in season.
Right.
I mean, there was a couple times that he kind of came with some hard body.
Yeah.
Tried to come up, but like Bud was seeing it in slow motion.
Yep.
So
kind of like Margarito and Pacquiao, the speed difference was crazy, man.
Yeah.
He kept getting caught in between those shots.
Yeah.
And I said, man, I was saying that like Errol Spence, he can generate a lot of power, but he has to go back first to do it.
Yeah.
Like he does a cock back type of thing, and he gets a lot of motion like that. But a guy like Crawford is not going to be there by the time.
Crawford's like right here.
He throws right from the shoulder. Right.
Yep.
Everything's fast.
Even Spence jab was looking a little bit slow towards the end. He's like, looked like he's plunging into it rather than, being able to throw it. So
I think another thing as far as Spence's jab, Crawford, by him starting off southpaw, staying southpaw, like he never was orthodox in that fight.
Right.
Once you do that against a southpaw, the jab is going to have to be something special.
Yeah.
To catch you. So, I thought it was interesting. We kind of touched on it, but what's your main takeaway from Errol Spence's performance?
I actually called into the XM radio at the fights today and kind of gave a quick take. And one of the questions I thought, which they actually brought up on the show was, what version of Spence is this? Was this a full version of him? Which sounds a little disrespectful to Crawford, right? Because people always downplay his opponent.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like we as boxing fans asked that question because we had no idea it would be this dominant. So it's not meant to disrespect Crawford. It's like, is that the same guy?
Right.
And look, Bud was the best I've ever seen him. In the fight, he needed to be the best. Or he probably didn't even need to be the best. He could have been a couple levels lower and he would have won. Like he was that good.
Right.
But it's a valid question. Spence came off of that car accident. He still beat Danny Garcia. He still beat Ugas. He was still was right after Sean Porter. So he beat legit welterweight. So I guess you could always have that question. But my thing was, I don't know. A couple people listening to afterwards said they sensed a little something off with him. And again, not to take anything away from Crawford, because this Spence that still beats like basically every other welterweight. So it's not way. But he was so much more dominant than him in that fight. He was so much better, so much sharper that you kind of was like, is that like who is like this wasn't what we expected. So I guess not even to discredit, definitely don't want to discredit Crawford, but it's almost like it was so far out of what anyone was really saying. Most people were saying it. There are a few people out there like, it's going to dominate completely. But most people, most intelligent boxing fans were like, oh no, this is going to be a real good one. More people probably say it's going to be really good, but then Crawford's going to get him at the end. Like, I don't think people expected from the second round on it wasn't really going to be a fight. He was like Spence was in. But the final thing I'll say is the post press conference. I don't know, man. I felt like Earl, man, you might need to just retire. I know he got a southern draw, but it sounds even slower.
Yeah.
It felt like I don't know.
I didn't like the fact that they made him talk after that.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like the first thing he should have done was gone to get some medical attention, right?
Yeah.
I've seen guys skip the interview for way less ass whippings than that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But as far as the fight, I thought Errol Spence I didn't think he fought bad, man. I really don't think he fought. Now, here's the thing. Once you start getting countered and tagged and punched on by a guy like that, you're not, that's taking shit out of you.
Right.
But he came in, like the way he started the fight, he came in sharp. He came in shooting the jab, locking Crawford in place. It's like Crawford, it seemed like Crawford wanted to feel the power just so that you know what he was dealing with. I gave Errol Spence the first round, right?
Yeah. That's about it.
Couldn't give him any more, but like I did give him that round because that was an Errol Spence round. It's not like he came in with no legs. You know, it's not like he came in with no jab, no nothing. Like he was throwing, even in that third round after the knockdown, I'm like, he's still throwing hard. He's still throwing shots. Yeah. It's just it's not the right type. It's just a bad stylistic matchup for me. You know, that's what I saw. As far as like the post-fight interview, like I said, man, like on knockouts like that, when a guy's looking like that, I don't think Jim Gray should be putting a microphone in his face. You know, I think you want to get him out of the ring and get him, you know, like it's not a good look, man.
The first question he asked him, Spence didn't even hear. He was like, huh? And I was like,
yeah.
He with it?
He's hurt.
I think so.
Yeah. And he's talking about a rematch and everything, but he needs to take his time, you know, and definitely I would suggest not rematching, but definitely not a straightaway rematch. Like that's crazy to me. I think just to finish up on that point, I think Spence would beat any of those other welterweights. You know, I think Thurman would be a little tricky just because he got the feet, and Spence obviously that's not a strong suit for him. You know, he's kind of a plotter, right? But if all he got to do is catch Thurman to the body a couple times, and you know, that changes the fight. But I think he beats Boots with that performance. Yeah, I think he beats Boots.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've watched Boots. I like him, but he hasn't. You know, we don't know enough about him, right? He's a little bit green still. You got to see him fight. Like he should probably fight Virgil Ortiz first. But the problem with Virgil Ortiz is he hasn't fought in like I don't know how long. He has a couple of medical issues that's been.
He got to stop juicing, man. He got to stop juicing. It's fucking him up. Ortiz. Yeah.
I don't know nothing about it. He had some sort of disease or something though, or some sort of thing that happened. I don't know. Yeah. Because I really liked that kid when he was coming up, and then I feel like he hasn't fought like 2 years, or maybe had one fight in 2 years, so it kind of was throwing me off, you know. But that would be a fight that Ennis probably wins, I think, at this point, and then you kind of, you know, see that kind of fight play out. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what Spence would look like against someone else right now, especially after taking this type of beating.
I thought. I mean, for me, let alone his trainer. If I'm his dad, I'm throwing in that towel, man.
Yeah, that's
he got knocked down 3 times. Like, what do you think he's gonna come back? Like,
right.
Once he gets that third knockdown, I'm looking to save.
I mean, he's tough. Even after that other one, even after the fight when they finally stopped it,
he was still throwing.
Yeah, he'd have kept on. Like I don't think he was going to stop. He'd have kept getting up. He's got a. I mean, he's a tough dude, but he just took too many shots so square.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
He earned a lot of my respect, man. Like I didn't know that he had that much heart. You know, I really didn't know. Like I didn't. Like not many people do. Not many fighters do. You know, like the punishment that he took. It'd have been real easy for him to just stay down until the referee counts to 10. And, like real easy. You know, nobody would have questioned shit. You know,
right?
He kept getting up. You know, not only getting up, but he was fighting. You know, he was throwing punches. And so in a little bit of comedic relief, Clarissa Shields is saying that she would beat up Keith Thurman. What do you think about that?
This is the woke movement going too far. Like for real.
I know. I know.
Yeah. People really believe it. I made a comment the other day on one of my friends' pages about, I don't know if he was joking, saying Clarissa Shield should be like top pound for pound or whatever. And one of the things, people don't realize sometimes, like, all props to her, she's a great boxer. Like, she's
Absolutely.
a boxer. But I had to look this up, and it was way worse than what I thought. So, like, we were comparing with like Inoue or something. I'm like, I'd have Inoue ahead of her. And some people are like, no, I would put her ahead. Like, I guess if you're comparing boxing skills or whatever, I'm like, do you realize how many people in the world are in the like bantamweight division? It's like 1,200.
Right.
Do you know how many females in the world are in the middleweight division? The world.
It's probably single digits.
It's 34.
Wow.
All props.
Yeah, no competition.
All props to her. She's the best out there, but it's
the
hard.
The pool is very small.
Somebody gotta be the best out of 1,200. You gotta be the best out of 4.
Big difference.
Like, again, all props to her. She's great. I think she'll beat up a lot of dudes. She will. She spars with dudes. Like, I've been in the boxing gym. There's a girl there that spars with dudes. Like, back when the one I went with, used to go to. Listen, girls can handle this stuff, but there's a level to it. There's a level. I mean, Keith Thurman can end her career forever. Like,
he ain't like he can't punch now.
Yeah,
like he's not.
Oh yeah, and he can punch too. Like, that's that crazy stuff. Like that's that Jake Paul wanting to fight Canelo type stuff. Like,
that's that stupid shit, because that's how we get. What's that guy? That dude swimming against all those female swimmers, because they run their fucking mouth, right? And they set themselves up for something that they really don't want. Like, do you really want to be?
A lot of the swimmers, they're like, no, we know. Like,
exactly.
Like, years back, there's this clip that goes around with Serena Williams. They're like, well, you're the best ever, right? You could beat any guy too, like some idiot talk show. And she's like, no, I can't. No. She's saying it. She's like, look. Right. I appreciate the praise, but she's like, I'm not even close. Like there's no comparison. I think
the bone structure, the power, the speed.
Yeah, no way. They're like, these dudes serve at like 120 miles an hour. Like, they serve at like 90. Like, he said it's a different game. Right. Like, I think they said some dude that was ranked like, 280th in the world was hungover one day and came out just to play with her and just like waxed her the whole thing. like, you know what I mean? Right.
I was watching what was it, last week? I was watching something, and they were showing like the women's team, the current U.S. women's team for soccer, playing against some 15-year-olds, high schools, and they got beat 5-2. Yeah. And then that same team, the women's team, they played against something. They didn't like the fact that the little boys beat them, so they put them up against some old dudes, some retired players. 12-1. 12-1. Yeah. Like, they got destroyed.
Yeah. Like, that's what it is. I mean, throw her in with some amateur dude, some low-level pro, and she'll beat him up. But when you talk about Keith Thurman, man, and even though Keith Thurman been retired for a few years, it would only take a couple punches, and then
you can't hurt him.
Like, why did you do this? And what happened? It might just be a publicity stunt, you know what I'm saying? like get more names, get more people talking about female boxing, right? I mean, they got some good fighters, that fighter a while back with what's the girl name? Taylor and the Puerto Rican girl.
Serrano.
Yeah, that was a great fight. It was a great fight.
I thought Serrano won that fight, man. I thought she had.
Could have went either way. Yeah, it could have went either way.
Yeah.
So, it's not that they can't fight. It's not that they don't have great fighters, but you gotta kind of understand what is two different games. So I don't know doing that. Maybe it would bring more attention and so on and so forth. But if a dude of that level actually really hit her, with regular gloves on and no headgear, like, she's in a lot of trouble.
I think Thurman should pull up. He should pull up to our gym, man. He should pull up. Yeah. And like, hey, let's go a couple rounds, let's see what you got, because I remember she was saying the same thing. She was saying she could beat up Sean Porter a few years ago. Sean Porter,
Yeah, but the thing is, she ain't knocking women out like that. She don't got a lot of knockouts.
Right. Exactly. So, she's not like, what you gonna do to these guys?
Yeah.
Like, ain't no way. But all right. So I know you saw the Charlos, right?
Yeah.
And their little thing that happened. Like Caleb Plant let his hands go, right? Caught that guy lovely, and I mean Charlo looked like he didn't have nothing to say about it, right? Nothing.
Yeah. They always like getting into it, man. I think every big fight, they're arguing with someone, right? They're always arguing with someone. They was arguing with Tony Harrison one time. They was arguing with, I don't know. They always, you know what I mean? They
fugazi. They fugazi as fuck.
I mean, they can fight. I give them props. They can fight, but yeah, they love getting into some shit though. They love getting into some stuff. They're always doing that. Again, maybe that's promotion too. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
XPR.
What? Charles, the Caleb Plant
the
thing?
Caleb spat was real. I'm just saying, they just always rowdy to always be in
right. Yeah, they on some WWE type shit.
Yeah, I said it on my page, bro. I was like, they finally ran into the wrong one because every other time you see them, it'd be like during the fight or right after they're walking out, a bunch of people separating everybody and sort of and
running their
Caleb playing that shit.
Right.
Yeah,
running
man.
their mouth.
Like, look, man, don't put your hands on me.
I ain't mad at him.
Nah.
I ain't mad at him.
Nah, even what's his name? I think was it Derek James? I think right? He was like, well, no, justified, I guess.
Hey, you put your hands on him.
Yeah.
That's a wrap. It's up at that point.
Yeah.
But Little Charlo, I gotta start doing this, Little Charlo, because Little Charlo is Big Charlo. As far as I'm concerned, Little Charlo's the one with the heart. Little Charlo's the one that's never scared. I don't feel like calling him Little Charlo and calling the other one Big. So like he got a big fight coming up against Canelo.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What you think? He's going up 2 weight classes.
Yeah, I know that's not a good look for him. I think he's cashing out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody's calling Canelo's name. He's still the cash cow. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like even with like Bud, like he ain't a cash cow and he ain't gonna be. He's gonna get more props now for his next fight, but it's kind of like everyone called out Mayweather, right? People knew they was gonna lose to Mayweather, but you cashing out. People went from having $500,000 paychecks to $10 million. Floyd gonna make 40, but hey, you gonna make 10 or 5. Like they ain't never seen $5 million. Canelo's the same way. Wherever Canelo goes, he's gonna sell out. He's gonna get pay-per-view numbers or whatever. So, I mean, he's instantly walking into a $10 million paycheck or something. Like,
so you really think this guy? You think Charlo's just he's selling his own? Or not his own. He got that one
I think he really wants it. Like, I think he really wants that fight, and I think he's gonna come prepared. And I think he's gonna fight. And I mean, I suppose you got a chance. He's young, he's strong, but at the end of the day, but I guess that's how I'm saying it. He's going up 2 weight classes, like without even like if you really wanted to do that, what you do is you have a fight at you have 3 fights at 160,
fight
at 168. So he's saying at the end of the day, either which way, I'm gonna get paid $10 million, $15 million. So I'm gonna take the risk. Biggest name in the sport. This is what we do this for. This is the business side of it. And hey, I got a shot of winning.
I'm gonna give him a slight shot at winning, and it's not because I think Canelo is coming back down to earth a little bit, right? I don't think he's the same old, I don't think it's the same Canelo. Like he struggled with what's that guy's name? Ryder. He struggled with John Ryder.
Yeah.
Right. He struggled with that guy. Now he broke him up and all of that. But Canelo, what I see at this point, I just see a guy who's loading up, throwing everything hard.
Yeah.
That's I don't know if that's going to get it. Like, here's what I really ask myself: can Jermell Charlo emulate what Bivol did? I think he can.
See, I don't think so. And the other thing is, I don't think Charlo could hurt Canelo. That's the one thing about Canelo, though. he's this. I mean, he's that neck, that
Yeah,
chin.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah. He's a
he
tank.
took Triple G shots right on the chin. Not many people could do that back at that point, right? Now the last version of Triple G at 42 years old, that wasn't the same Triple G, but
Right.
he took Triple G's shot on the chin.
Yeah, he
Bivol
did.
punch. He took Bivol's punch at 175. I don't think a 154 guy. It's boxing; anything can happen. But I don't think a 154 guy is going to go up there and intimidate him and hurt him. Right? It is going to have to be more of a strategic in and out type of fight, right?
Yeah.
Now, Canelo was being outboxed by Kovalev. That's kind of an old version of Kovalev at that time until he knocked him out.
That fight was bullshit. That fight was Kovalev didn't even throw a right hand the whole fight.
Yeah,
that fight was.
Yeah, well, Kovalev was definitely taking the payday on that one. He was like he had just came off I don't know if it was a win or a loss. Just came off of like it was like 2.5 months or something crazy, and he was like, "Shoot, 15 million? Yeah, I'm gonna take this."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So no, I don't really see Charlo hurting him, and that could be his detriment because if you can't get a guy's respect, Canelo's just gonna be on your ass all night.
I don't know. Bivol is not a killer. Bivol is an excellent boxer, right? He's an excellent, like he can do it all pretty much. But one thing he's not is a killer. He's not. He wasn't in there trying to kill Canelo. He had him against the ropes. You know, he had opportunities, and Canelo's going like this. You know, and he's just like letting them come back to the middle of the ring. Charlo is more of a killer. Yeah, I mean, if I'll put some money. I'll give you an opportunity to get this money back, right? But you gotta give me some rounds or something. Like it's not just gonna be straight up. You know what I mean?
All right, we'll see.
Yeah, because Canelo, I gotta favor Canelo to win, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I think he is aging. You know, I think he is coming down to earth. What about Inouye? I know that fight was earlier last week.
Yeah.
What do you think about him?
I mean, to me, at that point in time, I was throwing, anyway ahead of Crawford at that point. People are like, well, how can you? I'm like, just because of that performance, I was like, let's see what happens Saturday, and then we can, bump Crawford back up. Because I didn't think there was any way he'd be as dominant. The problem I think people have with the lower weight classes is we disrespect the fighters at the lower weight classes because we don't know who their competition is.
Right.
Now, it doesn't necessarily mean these guys aren't highly skilled boxers.
Oh yeah, they are.
We just don't know who they are, so we go, who did he fight? Well, who's Steve Fulton? Well, he was the number 122 guy in the world.
Yep.
And he ran through him and stopped him in like 8th in a dominant performance.
Yep.
But I can still give Crawford a little more props because Spencer's certainly a bigger name than Stephen Fulton with a bigger resume. So that domination to me catapults him either over anyway or kept him above anyway at that point. But you can't take nothing away from anyway.
No.
From his standpoint, he's like, what am I supposed to do? I stepped up a weight class and dominated your number one. Like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
I thought that was going to come back to haunt him. I thought the fact that he moved up to super bantam without a tune-up, without getting acclimated to the weight, I thought that would come back to haunt him. What I didn't know is that Stephen Fulton was that he was basically slow, man. He was like slow motion in this. You know, he couldn't touch him.
Yeah. Well, again,
you know, he was in and out, like he couldn't, and landing big shots.
Again, Inoue made him look like that, though, just like Crawford made Spence look like that. So it's I mean, what else can Inoue do though? Inoue could probably go to 126 because his power carried, just like Crawford's power carried. And 126 would sound crazy to him. He actually started at 108 pounds. He was 108.
Yeah.
12, 115, 118, now 122. He could probably hit 126.
And see, shit like that, man. Like and here's the thing. Before I even say what I'm gonna say, Inouye is like my third favorite fighter. Right? Crawford, Artur Beterbiev, and then it's Inouye right there, right?
Yeah.
Those are my 3 favorite fighters.
Right.
But like when I see guys just moving up in weight, fighting the same way, I don't know, man. Like he's not fighting any different than he was at like you said at 108. Like that's some freaking nature shit.
Yeah.
You know, that's weird. So, and people are talking about he can go up. Like now, it's like as soon as he beat Fulton, you got the Tank Davis fans. They say, let's fight. Let him fight Tank Davis. Like,
well, that's too, well,
that's at 135.
People are still saying, why can't Crawford go up to fight Canelo? It's like, well, that's 168, right? Well, you're going to get that. Yeah, I thought the Tank thing was crazy. I mean, it'd been one thing if it was a few years ago when Tank was at 130. You could say, let's eat at 128. It'd be crazy. You still, favor him. But the thing about Inoue, he's so sharp. He, again, very similar to Crawford. He's fundamentally good. He's so sharp. His punches, Crawford could land his punch on a dime. Just perfect.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's very similar. Has power. Knows how to use it. Got the killer instinct. So yeah, those guys can go up. They can go up. I wouldn't push it too far. But yeah, I wouldn't be shocked just looking at the 126 division. Like I don't see anyone that I'd be like he can't beat him.
Right.
So, anyway, probably could go to 126. And
I can see him going. I can see him going to 126. I can see him doing that. I think that's where he probably tops off at, though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if there's anyone on 130 though. But those are those funny divisions. Like 130 is like 140. It's like people at 140 always got to get to welterweight to really get the name out.
Right.
People at 130 are looking to get to lightweight, right? You kind of that midway division that doesn't, command full respect necessarily. It doesn't have the payday that the lightweight will have or the welterweight will have. So, but yeah, I think I think we'll see what's in the future for Inoue. I mean, he's young, but he's been fighting for a long time.
Yeah, he's 30.
He's been fighting for a long time. We just started hearing about it in the last, few years, I guess.
Few years, yeah.
But
he's 30. He's 30. He's in his 30s now.
Yeah. Again, but who's following 108 or 112 really, right? You know what I mean? It's just not like when Chocolatito was there at 112 and 115. He brought some excitement. He actually got a buzz. I was actually following him. But Chocolatito would also ride on Triple G's undercard, right? So sometimes they put people together. It's just like Keyshawn Davis and Nico Ali were like riding. Like they match them together, so you kind of bring that whole card with you.
Right.
You have a heavier dude that's kind of mainlining it, and then those guys are continually on that card, so you can build them up.
Yeah. Your boy Eminem bringing out Crawford. What you think?
Man, actually, as soon as I seen that, man, that energy was crazy, and I just seen Crawford's face. I was like,
the fisherman outfit. Did you peep that?
Yeah, like, you know what I thought, though? You know what I thought as soon as I seen that? I'm like, man, this dude can't lose. Like, from right there, I just felt like he can't. Like, I was like, I got to root for Spence, but I just can't losing. Like that, it was too hard, man. It was just...
I'm going to tell you, man, when I was watching that ring walk, I'm like, at first, I'm going to keep it real. Like, at first, I'm looking at Crawford, and I'm like, what the fuck is he wearing, man? What is he wearing? What does he got on? I'm I was trying to put it together.
Yeah.
And then once he got to the ring, I'm trying to think of his trainer, not Bomac. It was the short Hispanic dude. You know what I'm talking about? The other trainer.
Yeah.
And he's holding up the net. He took the net off of Crawford. He's holding up the net. He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, I get it.
Right.
This is bad, man. This is gonna be bad for
man.
I'm like, yeah, that was ill right there, man. So all right, so what we got? What do you think is next? And I'm gonna just name some fighters, right? And you just freestyle, go for it. You know what I mean? What's next for Errol Spence?
Man, I think he's going to reenact the rematch at 154. That's what I think is next. I don't know. I'm not saying it's a good idea. I'm just saying
I got you.
I think that's what's next. And what I would say that, either he becomes a whole different fighter at 154, maybe he was weight drained, so on and so forth, and he gives a good fight, or you better have a short leash. His team should have a short leash and say, look, you're making another 20 million right into the sunset. You got enough money. Just be financially smart from here on out.
Right.
But what we recommend, of course, would be you probably need to take 9 months to a year off and have a tune-up fight and figure out where you are. That's what should happen.
I would love to see that. Like, I don't want to see if they push him into another Crawford fight. That's basically, to me, that's not really taking care of the fighter. You know what I mean? Like, that's not taking care. Like, he basically him along with Tank Davis, and I guess you could throw Deontay Tuscaloosa Twerker in there as well. They carry the PBC for the most part, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't think they should cash him out like that. Like, you got to take care of the fighter. You know, he's still got a career left.
Yeah.
What about? Well, I'll give my take on Spence real quick. I would love to see him move up to 154 and take. I won't say a tune-up, but fight a Keith Thurman at 154. Fight a Danny Garcia at 1. Danny Garcia looked good at 154, right? Fight that guy again. Like, fight one of them, at 154. Like, don't fight Tim Tszyu. Don't fight him, right? But fight one of these other guys. Move him up from 147. Maybe Virgil Ortiz, right? But I would like to see him get acclimated to his new weight. Like, going back into a Crawford fight, it's not a good match. 154 is not going to save him against Crawford unless he's just going to get faster. Right. That's not how it works. Like, if he's going to get more twitchy and faster, all right, go for it.
Yeah.
I don't see it though. That's not how it works.
Yeah. I mean, like, unless he was truly drained and they did the right thing, didn't make no excuses, but like if it really affected him. But I don't think that's the case necessarily. But I'm just saying, like, throwing something out there that could possibly stick. Maybe that's it.
I think he was drained. I think he was drained. But drained is part of boxing. That's like those guys struggle making weight. Like Crawford even said it was tough for him to make weight.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't think that. I didn't think Crawford struggled to make weight.
I mean, you got to think these guys. He's like 36 now.
Yeah.
147. He's probably outgrowing that shit now.
Yeah, you're right. Because I say that because I seen Crawford in New York when I was at a Lomachenko fight, and he was really close to me. And I just remember he looked like one of them. You know how certain dudes, even as they get older, they kind of just that real skinny, ripped. So like, I think they're gonna gain a lot of weight. Like they don't. Like I didn't fill it out like that. Like that was kind of my thought process on him. That he wasn't naturally big like that. But I guess he got a lot of muscle on him too, though. So that's probably wise. Yeah, I can see it being tougher. I mean, he about 5'9", 5'8". So I mean, 147 as you get older, that's tougher to make.
Well, stay right there with Crawford. What do you see next for him?
So outside of the rematch clause, probably Charlo.
Right. But, man, that would be something, man.
But that's what they're talking about 154. But how is Charlo gonna go 168 and then back down to 154? So that's just crazy.
Yeah, see, they're not taking his belts. They're not taking his belts away. So it's like, he's gonna still have those belts regardless.
Well, that's what they're talking about too. They said you never know what the commission body might do. That he might go up. They're gonna basically auction the belts off, like put a couple people up. The only problem with that is I don't know who else is there. I know you say you got Tim Tszyu there. Besides that, I'm not sure who else is there that's really gonna. There's not a lot of names I can think of that are really going to Crawford a problem. I'd rather see him fight the best there, which would be Charlo. But if he's going with Canelo, then if he came all the way back down, then that could be an issue. So I don't know that he gets a fight there. That's going to be exciting. That's where I think he goes. He goes 154. They said that's when he was on top of the ring calling out Charlo.
He was. Yeah.
out. And that's what I heard a quick interview with Bomac today, and that's what he said too. That like next something along the line. So I don't know.
3-time undisputed. That would be something, man. 3-time undisputed champ.
Mm-hmm.
That would be something else.
But the way he looked, man, I think he could go to middleweight.
Yeah.
Who's gonna touch him?
You talking about Crawford?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean,
I'm not saying
he came from lightweight.
But who would touch him though? Who would touch him with them skills? I mean, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like, I don't even know who would touch him at that point. When as sharp as he is, I think he'd give just about every middleweight a problem.
I mean, you got guys up there. You got Carlos Adames up there, right? He's not. Yeah, I know he's no world beater, but that's the thing. Like when you way out of your weight class, a guy who's not a world beater can touch you up, man.
If he can naturally get to 154, which is the saying he is now, I mean, who's up there? You got Triple G, but he's 42 years old. I mean,
I wouldn't put Crawford in. I wouldn't put Crawford in there against Triple G. Triple G's a killer still.
I don't know if Triple G got the movement to that counter punching of Crawford, right? And you know I'm a Triple G guy, but like
he still got that jab.
That counter punching of Crawford right now, though, I think he'd have a legit chance.
Triple G don't get hurt.
That's the only thing is, his chin is crazy though. So yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't think he does that, but I'm just saying, like, that's how good he looked the other day.
Yeah.
I know who's up there that's gonna that he can't.
Yeah, there's nobody. There's no killers
because
there.
He's outboxing people though. He's not just, you know what I'm saying? He's not carelessly. He's not doing what Spence did to get where it was by just being the bully and just walking him down. He couldn't walk Crawford down.
Right.
Because he was getting caught with the counters that were so fast. Now, I'm not saying he knocks those middleweights out, but can he outbox them? I think there's a possibility of it. Like, I really do.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it depends on the matchup, I guess. You know, I just wouldn't put him in there against any and every middleweight. I wouldn't. That's just different. It's dangerous, man. Like the bone structure, man. He came up from lightweight.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the names in the top like 20 right now, and I'm just.
Who is it? Who we got?
I mean, you got Golovkin, Liam Smith, Eubanks. I think Eubanks could be trouble for him because Eubanks is a tough dude.
Hell yeah.
Adames, and then you got these two other guys from Kazakhstan. They Golovkin people. I can't pronounce the name. I ain't gonna try, but those guys are some killers. I don't even know these other, like, how many names. Mosley Jr. I mean, a lot of these dudes. So that's what I'm saying. He could probably go there and beat most of them.
Yeah. And you know what? I watched our live stream back the other day, and I didn't notice you had that Errol Spence T-shirt on, man.
I didn't.
I didn't have Errol Spence.
It was Thomas Sowell. It was Thomas Sowell.
Oh, okay. All right, my man. Yeah.
I gotta have the camera at this angle next time. You could have saw it. Yeah,
okay. All right.
No.
Yeah.
Thomas Sowell T-shirt.
Yeah, that's my guy right there, man. That's what's up. So, what do you think about I'm gonna tell you what I think Boots should do. I mean, what I think Bud should do next. Get Boots the fuck out of there. Clear him. He been talking too much. Him and his daddy. Circle the block. Send him a contract and get him out of there, man. They've been talking way too much, man. I would love this. To me, that would cement his legacy even more. Like, take out this young gun.
I don't know if that happens. They said he's his mandatory, but no one really cares about mandatories that much at this point. I don't think, at this level. He's in Floyd, Floyd level, Pacquiao level, Canelo level, where he got all the belts. I don't care about the, like, you want to take the belt, go ahead. Like, who cares? Like, everybody knows I'm the best. I don't think he'll do it for his mandatory, but he might do it. I don't know if that's a good look for Boots because we do value the O in boxing, right? It means something to be undefeated, and he's probably a little green, so that's probably not the best look. But if he's willing to take it, he's probably going to be the heir once Crawford and Spence are gone. So if you took that L to Crawford and showed a valid effort, then yeah, that's not a terrible thing.
I think Crawford he's dog enough to do something like that. I think he's dog enough to say, you know what, you've been talking a lot. I want you.
Yeah.
Right. I think he's yeah. I get it. What you're saying. Like he is at that Floyd and Pacquiao level where it's like, is this really a smart fight? It's not gonna make that much money. But as far as the boxing diehards, like I mean, if it's not the Charlo fight, I get the Charlo fight. If you can get Charlo for undisputed at 154, go for it. If not, get this young punk out of here, man. You know what I mean? Go ahead and get him. Because they've been calling him out.
That's the thing about, a guy that's 26 years old and they've got that natural twitch still. They've got that dog still. They've got that hunger still. So he might show something. So
it's a dangerous fight. Yeah, it's definitely dangerous. It can't be any easier than the last fight, right?
You wouldn't think so.
I don't think he would do that to Boots. I think Boots he's a different fighter. He's not going to run in. He's not only a front foot guy. I still think he gets knocked out. I think he gets knocked out. I've seen him get hit by way lesser guys. But yeah, man. What you got, man? What you got going? What questions you got for me, man? Ask me some questions.
I don't know, man. I haven't thought about that. But
it's all good. What you think about Artur Beterbiev and Bivol? Why haven't we got that? That should be.
I don't know why, because both of them are game. I'm not sure why that hasn't happened yet.
Some old political bullshit over Russia.
That's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering some politics behind it.
Man.
I think I think that fight will happen in probably the next year and a half.
But that's a problem because Beterbiev is like 38 now.
I know he is. He's 30.
It's not right, man.
32.
They're trying to age him out.
I mean, and they keep on putting Beterbiev in with people that I'm like, who are you putting him in with? Like who is this guy?
Joe Smith Jr., Anthony Yard.
Huh? Yeah.
Anthony Yard.
Yeah, Anthony Yard. Well, actually, beat Joe Smith. I mean, Joe Smith is a guy a lot of people like. Marcus Brown. That's another one of them divisions, though, that you got a lot of people that just have so little recognition outside hardcore boxing fans.
Right.
I don't know. It better be probably can't make no 168. If not, he should hunt down Canelo. That'd be his payday and put him on the map. But yeah, no,
he said he wanted that fight. Canelo didn't want him at 168. He ain't trying to lose them belts.
Probably not. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Beterbiev goes up to cruiser. Right? I wouldn't be surprised if he did that.
Yeah.
Thing about him, like I said, he's 38, and it seems like after every fight, he gets some type of injury. Like right now, I don't know if you know, but like he pulled out a Callum Smith fight because he got some type of that fight's off now. Yeah, he got some type of dental injury or something.
Yeah, I mean he's only got a couple of years to make something happen. He'd have probably, he'd have knocked out Callum Smith though. But it would have been a good fight. So, yeah, him and Bivol got to make something happen soon. I mean that's where we're at with that.
Shit, man. Another awesome live stream with you, man. I appreciate you, man.
All right.
I'm about to get up off of here and get with these kids, man. You know how it goes.
I hear that. I gotta go upstairs too. Yeah, man, we'll make it happen again. Like I said, we gotta try maybe that. I gotta figure out how to do that Facebook Live, and we can do it YouTube, and then plus do a YouTube or whatever. But, bring some more people in. Got a good conversation on this.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate you, bro. Yep. I'll holler at you, man.
All right.
Chill. Mom's loyal servant. I appreciate the comment that you dropped there. So yeah, there you go. A little boxing talk, just chopping it up. I'm about to go ahead and wrap this up. But shout out to Caleb Plant, right? Shout out to Caleb Plant and that left hand. That's how I'm gonna end this off. If you like the video, go ahead and slap the hell out of the like button. One time. Peace.